What's up, dudes and dudes to the internet? My name's Scythe, and we are back again for Trove on PC. I know that I've been kind of taking a little bit of a soft break from the console versions, but I've been busy. Lots of stuff has been going on for me that I haven't even had much of an opportunity to play Trove in general. You could probably notice it even right now. I couldn't sleep, so I thought, hey, why not record? So I might be a little bit groggy today, and I apologize for that. But been doing lots and lots of research to my craft and YouTube and all the crazy stuff that's been going on with that. We'll talk about that a little bit, but I don't want to get too into it. And then also just researching some new gear, because there's a couple things as far as my gear setup is concerned that I want to step up. My camera, most of all, I ended up actually buying a better camera that should arrive in a couple weeks, and oh man, it looks beautiful compared to this one, because you'd be surprised, and I know I'm not really talking about Trove, so excuse me, but like I said, I just woke up, so I'm gonna ramble and just kind of hang out and talk today. Talk a little bit more about behind the scenes stuff, and just the stuff that goes into my work, I guess, just kind of a little, here's what's up. I also, as a side note, am going to end up doing a video that shows what my gear setup is, because quite a few people have actually been asking me for that, and whoopsie daisy, why are we going over there? So I'm gonna have that video once the new camera ends up showing up, and I mean, researching cameras is like so difficult, or researching anything for YouTube is very, very difficult, because it's very rare to find anyone who's actually talking about using any of this gear firsthand, you know? Microphones especially. Oh man, like I have a very, very particular and unique setup for my audio that you know, even just yesterday, I ended up going to a music store, renting a microphone, which online people were singing high praises about, right? Then I got it, you know, I rented it, tried it out with my setup, and nope. Doesn't work in the least. The microphone sounds fantastic. It's the TLM 103. And it sounds fantastic over the one that I'm using right now. But with my current setup, there's a lot of like explosions in the volume and rattling that goes on even if the mic slightly moves and everything, because it's a more sensitive microphone, because it picks up more stuff and blah blah blah. But anyways, you don't care about any of that stuff. We're gonna talk about all the Trove things going on. So this week should finally be the PC patch. That's going to be very exciting, because, you know, it's kind of surprising that them not having a patch for a couple weeks has really been making this game, like, not interesting, you know? And I'm just saying in general, like, I've just kind of noticed as I'm sneaking online and stuff like that, it just generally seems like, it's not that everybody's quitting the game or anything like that, it's just most everybody's kind of playing other games to kill time for the patch, and I'm really hoping that it's going to be something worthwhile, you know. As of right now, I don't know what the patch is going to entail. I'm hoping that it's going to be those 25 new Chaos Crafter costumes that they're talking about, but then as far as new stuff that they have actually been mentioning in their streams, they're going to be bumping mastery up to 500 eventually. But they said that they're going to try and have a different system, so it's like maybe after mastery 300 or 400, not sure which one they ended up mentioning, they're going to actually make it cost more mastery from that point onward, so that it kind of scales more correctly, dare I say. We'll see what ends up happening with that, though. Most of all, though, dude, I'm just looking forward to those costumes. That's why I ended up swapping back to the Shadow Hunter, or at least trying to get used to him again, is because that Shadow Hunter costume, you know, like I wish I could have made a video showing you all the costumes. You know, the devs actually ended up giving me all of the costumes a week or two ago on the test server, and I was hyped. I was really, really excited to show you all what all these costumes were that I keep referring to, rather than just constantly saying, we've got some cool costumes coming, you know, and it's just, it's a little bit abrasive to just keep talking about without actually showing an example, right? But the devs messed up, and they unlocked the costume, like the body costume for the characters. They didn't unlock the helmets, they didn't unlock the weapons, so I never ended up doing a video on it, and now the update is just so close that may as well just wait, you know? Yeah, even at least with the extra life pack there, at least we get to see pretty much everything in that pack, even if not the dragons, you know what I mean? Oh, and I guess I should also mention today, we're gonna be giving away something special. It's not gonna be, we're not giving away that much. I wish we could give away more, I really do, but I still have a couple spare Griffin codes. So we're gonna be giving away 2 codes for drumsticks, and one code, not 2, 1 code for Paul Esteban McClaw. I would assume, like, I don't know, is the Griffin even on the console version of the game? I don't think that he is, so I think these codes are going to be PC exclusive. Just a heads up with that one. You know, it shouldn't really matter if you are a console player, apply the code to your account, and then log into the console version, and then you find out that it doesn't work. It shouldn't really matter or make a difference, but most of all, I'm saying it so that, you know, console players, be nice. If you're just exclusive on console, PC players, you know, are the ones that are gonna be able to use these codes, not you, you know? We're gonna be doing a console episode sometime soon though, but like I said, I've just been really busy researching gear and stuff like that behind the scenes, really wanting to step up with my production as best as I can. It's kind of a little upgrades, you know, like I always kind of considered a lot of my gear to already be the end game gear that I'm going to be using with YouTube for the years to come, but there's these little nuances that I really want to resolve. The camera in particular, while this camera is actually pretty good, especially now that I have like all of my lights on me and stuff like that, you can kind of notice, you know, the background's really dark, it drowns out. This camera in general does not deal with darkness very well. Ooh, radiant drop. That'll get loot collected. And then on top of that, also just kind of the way that it handles itself, you know, like if I'm doing a particularly long recording session, this camera will actually overheat, forcing me to stop recording until it cools down, and that's just something that I can't be bothered to deal with anymore, you know. Oh, this is how hard YouTube work is, you know. But then on top of that, you know, let's talk a little bit about all the YouTube stuff going on. So it's kind of the YouTube politics. I'm sure you've noticed lots of YouTubers out there talking about all of the stuff where it's like, in short, there was some not so good videos online, like really just bad videos, the true trash of the internet on YouTube. And these people actually had their videos monetized, meaning that they were actually making money off of them. And then pretty much journalists, you know, being worse, like that's the thing too. I love how in this day and age we have a term for it, clickbait. And people like to apply it to YouTubers, but where do you think we got it? You know, all of that has already been very present on, you know, news and the media and stuff for years. And it's even worse there. Like, it's like, side example, you know, this is kind of a little detour here, but a prime example is the Necromancer coming out for Diablo 3, right? You look up Necromancer Diablo 3 and there's no, like, there might be a little bit news on him now, but it's like, I was always so surprised. It's like, announcements for the Diablo Necromancer release. And then in that article, within the first line, it says, while we don't know the release date of the Necromancer, you know? And it's just like, that's pretty much what the media is, and journalism and stuff like that. So taking that into account with a grain of salt, where they're just clickbait, they make everything out to be more than it is. And they've pretty much been trying to attack YouTube. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, you know, they don't really have anything better to report on. You know, and then also when you look at YouTube, you're talking about tons and tons of individuals that are making money off of YouTube rather than a corporation, and you know, they don't like that, right? So anyways, journalists are trying to bash YouTube, saying that these naughty videos were, you know, making money for it. So it's like, does YouTube support these people? You know, and they pretty much ended up going to all of the advertisers, which is how YouTubers like myself end up getting paid. If you see an ad on a video, it means, you know, you gotta watch, I think, like 30 seconds of the ad, or 15 to 30 seconds of it without skipping it. And then the content creator that you're watching will actually end up getting paid a small percentage of based on the view, right? And then it's like with all of the craziness that's going on, they've had a lot of advertisers pulling their campaigns off of YouTube. So we've had, you know, Pepsi's pulled out, AT&T, all these big time corporations are actually pulling out saying, we don't want our ads to show up on these videos. Honestly, it's just because it's bad publicity right now, you know, and everybody's just blowing it out of proportion, acting like it's some big thing. I've seen plenty of channels out there that are always talking about how, oh no, you know, YouTube is done. Is this the YouTube apocalypse? Is this the end of YouTube? No, it's not. Because while a lot of those big time channels do talk about, you know, my livelihood is at stake, and you know, I've had seen other content creators, bigger ones, talking about how is this going to affect small time channels. Now, I personally view myself as a small time channel. I only just recently got into the tier of, you know, I still live at home, I still live with my folks, so, you know, I don't really have, like, that much expenses, right? And because of it, I've been very fortunate to be able to continue doing YouTube regardless of money. And that's always going to be the case, you know. I'm not doing YouTube for the money. But the fact is that very recently, you know, only within the last couple months, I finally have been making equal to a full-time living. So it's the exact, I'm getting paid the same as if I had a full-time job here in Canada anyways, with our Canadian dollar being poop. And I'm telling you folks, you know, do not get discouraged. If you're wanting to do YouTube out there, do not be discouraged by all of the craziness that's going on right now and all the news and stuff. YouTube is going to take care of itself and take care of their own. You know, YouTube does a lot of weird shady deals and, you know, kind of poops on their creators, but there is no way, like, it's like if they lost all of their content creators, YouTube would be dead. As simple as that. So there is no way that YouTube is gonna be going anywhere, right? And I just want to say, from the actual perspective of a small-time YouTuber, you know, I'm still small. I am. 100,000 subscribers plus might seem like a big deal for a lot of you that are starting out, but for myself personally, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, I'm such a baby as far as YouTube is concerned, you know? And I think I'm always gonna have that mentality. I think, you know, it keeps me very humbled to think that way, because then for my own personal beliefs, I don't think that I should ever let it go to my head that I'm, like, better than any other person that's doing YouTube, you know, or starting out on YouTube. And it's just numbers, you know. While I'm very fortunate and very grateful to every single one of you that has subscribed and has been tuning into the videos and stuff like that, for sure, you know, it's like, it's not gonna go to my head. But anyways, I'm digressing. The point that I'm trying to make is, from a small-time YouTuber's perspective, I'm not really that affected by all of the craziness that's going on. You know, all the big YouTubers are taking a huge pay cut and over-exaggerating it, the same as they did last year, because I'm going to try and get across this topic as quickly as possible here. But with the way that YouTube works, YouTube is very much like a corporation, like a business, you know, because we're paid by advertisers, and YouTube itself is paid by advertisers. There's what I like to call the YouTube dollar. This is like clicks per mile. So for every 1,000 views, you make like X amount of money, depending on what the advertisers are spending on YouTube. That YouTube dollar ratio is going to go up or down. Now, the only reason that I'm trying to get into that is because right now it's Q1, quarter one, the first quarter of the year, right? Because businesses view the year in 4 quarters, all the way up to Q4, which is around, like, you know, the holidays and Christmas time and stuff like that. 80 to 90% of a company's revenue is actually made during Q4. And because of this, because this is just how things end up working as far as business is concerned, it's very, very normal on YouTube for these corporations to pull out during this time of year. They've done it before. You know, they did it last year, and guess what happened last year? I don't know if any of you guys and gals ended up forgetting, but I sure didn't, that all of those same drama channels and people, you know, that over-exaggerate all this stuff for the views and for their money, they were all complaining, saying that YouTube was out. YouTube was done last year around the same time because everybody is taking a pay cut around this time of year. I kept track of it. And you know what's funny is last year, for example, you know, it was something like the YouTube dollar ratio, CPM, was at $1 Canadian. Now that's poop as far as money is concerned, because as far as I know, I get paid in Canadian currency, and then like a American YouTuber is gonna be paid the same dollar, but it's gonna be in American, so technically they make more, right? But anyways, you know, I don't mean to get into that. The point that I'm trying to make is that last year it was at $1 per, you know, per 1,000 views on a video and advertisements and stuff like that. Now it's actually at 175. So again, I don't know what everybody's talking about, because the, you know, the dollar value to people actually watching advertisements is up since last year. And while, yeah, you know, I am noticing a huge pay cut for this this month and next month, and it's going to end up happening. Like, that's the thing that happens is I monitored it very, very closely last year, and again, I don't like talking about this stuff because I don't want people to think it's about the money or anything. It's just a curiosity of mine, because I'm fascinated by all aspects that is YouTube, you know? It's my livelihood, it's my, it's more than a job to me, it's a passion. You know, and I wanted to know a little bit of the numbers going on behind the scenes. Now, you gotta be very careful because you can get roped in very, very easily. You know, even all of those are big YouTubers and celebrities and stuff talking about how they're taking like these massive pay cuts and not making enough money and all that stuff. It's difficult not to get roped into all of those numbers. It really is. But I'm here to tell you that that's perfectly normal. I don't think anything is going on that's going to change anything. And I mean, honestly, I'm just a small fish in a big pond that is the ocean of YouTube. And hopefully one day I can be fortunate enough, you know, lucky enough, I'll say, to actually be a bigger YouTuber myself. But, you know, the reality is that I'm not there. You know, I'm not there yet. And I may never end up being there, and this could even be the end of YouTube. It could be, but not for the reasons that everybody else is saying. You know, I want to wait and see. Like, but while everybody's panicking, because that's what YouTube is about, is people over-exaggerating everything, because all that drama and all that stuff is fantastic for views. You know, the journalists and media are benefiting greatly from all of the stories that they're putting out, and look at all the YouTubers that are talking about this YouTube apocalypse. Like, there's so many views going into YouTube right now. I refuse to believe that anything is going to end up changing, because they were talking about all this stuff last year as well. I kept track of it because they talked about it the year before that as well, talking about YouTube and the end and everything like that. It's just last year I tried to pay a little bit more attention to it, because it scared me last year. You know, last year with all the big boys talking about, is this the end of YouTube and stuff like that, suddenly it was like, wow, is my dream destroyed? And then this year, all of that same stuff is going on, and that's why I'm unaffected. And I want to say to any of you that want to actually go out and do YouTube, do it. Don't be scared. Don't be shaken up by any of all this junk that's going on. Just do what you want to do. Now, I'm sorry that we didn't really talk that much about Trove stuff. This is just kind of a lot of stuff that I wanted to get off my chest, because, you know, I didn't really feel the need to talk about something like this in a vlog video. I wanted to talk about it with you, the people. See, I'm Bane. And just let you know that I'm well aware that all of this stuff is going on, but I don't, you know, this is kind of my 2 cents on it, you know, because I don't want to, like, just in closing here, when I was still unsure what my direction was with YouTube, when I was still trying to define how I was going to approach my content with YouTube, I was copying all of the big boys because I thought that's what you needed to do to be successful. I thought that, you know, I had videos last year that were talking about, is this the end of YouTube and all of that stuff as well, because everybody else was talking about it. And somewhere along the line, I made the decision that I didn't want to be that type of content creator, even if it means that I'm not gonna, you know, my channel's not gonna grow as fast or be as successful. I could care less, because my integrity means more to me than that. And for me, you know, maybe I'm a bit stubborn, I am a bit stubborn. But when it comes to all of that stuff, you know, I kind of view it as my duty as a content creator to give you all the best video that I can possible. And with that, you know, I view it as my responsibility to brighten up your day, not talk about any of this other stuff that's gonna get you down, and talk about, you know, and just pretty much turn YouTube into another cable network where we're just talking about news and over-exaggerating things. You know, it's like, what's gonna happen next? Over-exaggerating a car chase? You know, like an Anchorman, remember that? Like, that's what the media actually does, is all of that stuff. But anyways, you know, I've rambled about this long enough. I mostly intended to talk about all this stuff in a positive light, to just say it's okay, you know, if you're starting out YouTube, don't be discouraged by any of this stuff. Follow your dream. Don't listen to what anybody else tells you. Okay, you gotta go out there and you gotta take the world for your own. You know, you gotta be able to do that, because otherwise, what? Then you sit there in fear, and then you buy a bunch of stuff to make yourself feel good, because spending money is empowering. And I mean, not to get too deep here, but that's pretty much exactly what the media wants to do. It wants to keep you scared. It wants to keep you in this consumer mindset where you're sitting here all distracted and watching all these videos of people complaining about all the ad revenue that they're not making. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they're pulling a fast one on you, and they're still making just as much money as they have been every other year. Anyways, you know, it's frustrating for me to see stuff like that, because I feel that I'm starting to actually become a part of the YouTube community and something more than just myself and doing, like, you know, I'm still doing the Trove videos and just doing Let's Plays and stuff, but that's the whole thing, is I want to just do Let's Plays. I want to just do fun videos for all of you fine, beautiful people, rather than getting into all that stuff. So this is going to be the only time that I'm going to talk about it. That's why today's video was a little bit longer. You know, hopefully you're okay with that, folks. And good luck to the people that end up winning the Griffins, because I know for some people that's all you care about, right? But anyways, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Very much appreciated. I love you all, like, seriously, for giving me the opportunity to do what I do and be myself, you know, because I've been changing so much over these past couple months into the person that I've always wanted to be, and that is just in love with life, you know, because I always have been that guy. But yeah, there's always been like these fears, and you know, fear of success, not fear of not being successful, and it's like, that's what kind of ended up happening as soon as I ended up hitting 100,000 subs, is I took it to heart, where it's like, this is not going away, you know, the channel is just going to keep growing, you know, just because I'm very fortunate. Like, it's just there. So it's like, I better step up my game, you know, I gotta be a better person for all of you. You know what I mean? But anyways, I don't want to get into any of that. We'll talk about that another time whenever I find the time to actually make a vlog video. I'm extremely excited because my beautiful fiance is going to be visiting today for a couple weeks. So I'm going to be having an absolute blast with her and all of that stuff. Still going to be keeping the videos coming out, though, every single day. Don't worry about that. Next week, we also do have Yooka-Laylee is going to be coming out. I know that there's not that much hype for that game, but there is hype from me. And then there's a couple other things that I talked about in the live stream video that I did 2 days ago that showed up yesterday. You know, I kind of talked with you fine, beautiful people, with the fans, and talked about like a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, and a lot of, I had a lot of game suggestions as well. So if you didn't check that out and you're curious to know what we're gonna end up playing in the future, you probably should check it out. Thanks for watching, though, folks. Very much appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content. Sayonara, stay epic. We'll have a console video sometime soon. Don't worry.